is a estrogen, a steroid hormone, secreted by a growing follicle in the ovaries and by the corpus luteum after failure to be fertilized. Also, estradiol is secreted in the testes and other male and female organs. Estradiol is produced from cholesterol through certain chemical reactions. In the female ovarian, menstrual, and reproductive cycles, high levels of estradiol stimulates the secretion of gonadotropin-releasing hormones, which stimulates the release of follicle-stimulating and luteinizing hormones in a positive feedback loop, which stimulates then follicles in the ovaries to grow and for ovulation to occur. Estradiol also induces the growth of sex characteristics involved in and not involved in the preparation of pregnancy, such as the endometrium, the uterine lining, and breasts during puberty. A negative feedback loop occurs upon entering the luteinizing phase, in which the corpus luteum triggers the rise of estradiol, reducing follicle growth hormones and preventing another pregnancy to occur. The unregulation of estradiol can cause an unregulated growth of cells due to its growth-inducing effects and, in effect, can lead to cancer proliferation. The aim of the study, published in the Journal of Ovarian Research by Lee et al. In 2020, is to understand the effects of different levels of estradiol on transient receptor potential channels and calcium 2+ ions expression, and their effect on ovarian cancer cell proliferation, migration, and vitality. The researchers performed many tests to come to a conclusion. First, they tested ovarian cancer cell samples' vitality with different concentrations of estradiol. Then, they tested the migration of epithelial ovarian cancer cells with different concentrations of estradiol. Thirdly, migration was tested again, but this time with different levels of TRPC3. The fourth test was to test the cell proliferation using the same level of estradiol on different samples, but with different levels of TRPC3. Fifthly, epithelial ovarian cancer cells were treated with estradiol and TRPC3 expression was measured. 6. TRPC3 expression was measured in EOC cells without anything added. Finally, calcium 2+ ion indicators and TRPC3 was transcribed into the EOC cells, and then estradiol was added to see, and the calcium 2+ ion influx was measured. The results found that estradiol promoted the proliferation, migration, and cell vitality of ovarian cancer cells, as seen in Figure 3F, 3C, and 3B, respectively. Figures 4A and 4B showed EOC cells had higher levels of TRPC3 expression. Then, figures 5A and 5B showed that estradiol increased the expression of TRPC3 in EOC cells. Finally, figure 6D showed that estradiol created an influx of calcium by influencing the expression of TRPC3. To note, previous studies have shown that TRPC3 acts as a calcium 2+ ion permeable channel, and that calcium 2+ ion signaling promotes growth of tumors and other unregulated cell growth. In search for the treatment and cure of epithelial ovarian cancer, exploring the pathogenesis or the development of the cancer cell growth is important to find ways to inhibit or suppress the growth of tumors. The understanding that this study shows is that estradiol promotes TRPC3 expression, which then allows for calcium uptake, which in turn induces cancer cell proliferation, migration, and cell vitality. Understanding the effects of estradiol on EOC is important because estradiol is found in many medications to reduce symptoms of menopause, prevent osteoporosis, and even to treat breast and prostate cancer. Those at risk for epithelial ovarian cancer should be given proper information on the risks of taking this medication, and this study helps provide that information. Further experiments would be to understand how estrogen regulates TRPC3 and to overexpress TRPC3 to see its overall effects. Here are my references, and thank you for listening.